and friends, wherever you are. Hmm. Yeah, I'm late. I wanted to take that one. I'm late. I apologize. Yes, I do. Apologize for being late. Um, is anybody here with me? Yeah? Yeah, you hear keys knocking in the background. I mean, somebody is here with me. So let's find out who it is. Good afternoon, good sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Brother Andrew Donald.
Everything good?
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Good to have you.
Yes, a long time.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me, man.
You're a good guy sometimes.
Yes. I always say there
You are a good guy sometimes.
is a little bit of good, a little bad in every human being. Nobody is completely good. No one is completely bad.
All right. So what's new? How you been?
Okay. It was hectic for the weekend, but we're there. Tivoli moons, the death of Farmer Brown.
The death of who?
Farmer Brown, the death of Farmer Brown, and the death of Dave Simon. That's Jack B. nephew. You know, Farmer Brown again, NNP stalwart.
Farmer Brown. That's the same Farmer Brown you tell me about in the cooperative?
Yes, the cooperative.
That's
and
the same Farmer Brown?
He died waving his NNP card. Strong support of NNP. Hey, I don't remember reminding Miss Moses or mentioning to Miss Pamela Moses, but I did mention it to Master Carla and Pablo because first time he voted for NNP was for Pablo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And he's a card bearing member of the party.
Good.
Yeah. We all mourn his loss. Tivoli community will mourn the loss of Farmer Brown.
But how is he Tivoli and he voted on that side?
Well, he lives cooperatives on St. Patrick's West, East.
Oh, you mean going up the hill?
So once you pass Pointsville Bridge, you're in St. Patrick's.
Oh, so that's where he lives?
That's where he lives.
So let me ask you a quick question. The cooperative now, did it end up belonging to him, the lands? Or?
Well, yes, because he's the one who remained. Everybody abandoned it and go their merry way. So he's the only one remain on it. He and Courtney. So Courtney is the only one on it now.
On it now?
Yes.
Was it government lands?
Yes, it was government lands.
So you think they would have solved it and have it and sorted it out?
Yeah, I think they sorted it out and
have it to themselves now.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think he's the rightful owner of it. And everyone, all the former revolutionaries in Tivoli will remember Farmer Brown and will miss Farmer Brown. Entertainer, very argumentative, hard-working guy. He don't get much education.
Okay.
But I remember him in the night school, learning to read and write. He wasn't embarrassed. We taught him
CP.
Yeah, write his name, sign his name, and he was able to do that. He came to class during the revolution, and of course he could go to the bank and
do something.
Yeah, because they were very poor people, and mother had to take him out from school to work to look after the others.
Okay.
And he did that. He never stopped working.
Okay.
Never stopped working. And he said, I remember the early days, when farmers said, look, KB boy, I voted for NNP the first time, I said,
and that was Pablo.
Good. That was Pablo. Yeah. You see, Pablo came and asked me for my vote. Uncle Tilly,
That's nice.
Uncle Tilly passed and tell me he passing. He never asked me for my vote. So from then on, I'm a solid NNP supporter. So we all mourn the loss of Farmer Brown. And Master Carl tell me he will attend his funeral.
Well, of course.
I think Pablo will, but I can't remember him mentioning to Miss Pamela Moses, but I will.
You will. Yeah.
You
will. Yeah.
So the NNP, nice. That's nice. NNP supporters always patronize. Even Ian Edwards' wife died. Why? That was a massive crowd, and All the politicians was there. Dr. Mitchell was there. Sister Emmeline Pear was there. Skeeter was there. Peter David was there. Everybody. Roland Bowler. All the NNP supporters
You were there.
were there.
Mhm.
That was nice, Give support to brother Ian Edwards, And that's what we have to do from now on. Stalwart having the celebrating the birthday, we must go. The family die, attend the funeral.
Show love, show respect.
Show love and respect and our contribution. That's what will keep us together and motivate us going forward when we show love, empathy for one another.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Anybody? Well, Ian, as you said, Ian's wife passed.
Farmer Brown passed.
Anybody else?
Dave Simon, that's Jack Bay.
Jack Bay's nephew.
He works in River Twine. And I know he's related to Shirley, the owner of River Twine. So I know.
He's related to Shirley?
Yeah.
So probably related to me too then.
It could because they're from Upper St. John, the family, my mother from Upper St. John. Well. So that could be.
Could be.
That could be, yes.
Yeah.
So
to all who are logging on, let me say good afternoon to them, KB.
Yeah.
Adrian, Mr. Watts, Cynthia Bartholomew, Errol Bonaparte, Deborah Laborde, Michelle Alexander. Patsy Abraham. Patsy, good afternoon, girlfriend. Gloria Francois. Michelle again saying hi. Amanda Jeremiah. Hi and hello to all of you. So nice to have you on a Sunday. And remember, if it's one thing, if you have not subscribed to the channel as yet, then you need to. And if you are subscribed to the channel, then one of the things that I want you to do is that every time you come on, please just like the program. Hit like and share it with as many people as possible, because that's what we want. We want as many people as possible to be able to view us, especially on Sundays. Andre and the KB. Natalia John, hi. She says hi to you too, KB. So we've not been here for a while.
I know. Andre in Ian Edwards' wife funeral. Someone met me and they say, "Hey, tell Andre." I say hello, but I don't remember people's name. I know she's listening. I know she's listening.
That's nice.
She's listening, but so much people meet me and say, "Hey, tell Andre hello." They listen to our program religiously, listen to our program, and still prepared to defend the New National Party. Someone will say, every time we get a chance, tell Dr. Mitchell hello. I say, well, that's nice. At least you have NNP people still showing strength and fight and prepared to give us all the support going forward. That's nice. Madam, I don't remember your name, but I hope you're listening. And I did pass your message to Mr. Andre Donald.
Okay. Cuthbert Brave Boy. Do you know that name?
From Brudge Grove?
I don't know.
I think it's Cuthbert Brave Boy from Brudge Grove. That's a brave boy that I usually call.
Is that him? I'm seeing the name Cuthbert Brave Boy, so I don't know if it's him. Hi, if that's you, just say yes. I don't know if it's the same one who called a historian, who calls and gives all the history.
I think it's he.
I don't know.
But that could be Cuthbert Brave Boy ring a bell anyway.
It could be him.
Could be.
All right. So share it with your friends. Let your friends know what they have to listen to on Sunday afternoons. KB and Andre, or KB and Carl, or KB and somebody. But remember, KB will more often than not, KB will be there.
Yeah.
But I see you kind of pull out your white paper and them already. All going on with that white paper.
Andre, I listen that press conference with Sister Emmeline Pear and Bola, and was a good press conference.
I don't think this person is calling me. I don't believe that. Go ahead, KB.
Andre was
just put my phone on silent. Sorry.
Press conference, sensitizing our our supporters and the Grenada people on what really taken place in this country. And it's rather, sad to hear some of the stories, came out of that press conference. And we as Grenadian, as human beings, we felt it for the poor people who suffer because of aggressive, mistakes and spite by the powers that be. When I heard Sister Emlyn Pierce said, look, they just send home all the workers in the brigade, and some people cement remain in the rain. Some people house, roof uncovered. It's like today for tomorrow. The people had to go to work tomorrow to complete the covering of poor people's house. And they tell them, hey, don't come back in the morning. They was mixing concrete, cement on the ground, sand on the ground, gravels on the ground to assist them with toilet and bathroom. No notice whatsoever. Hey, don't report to work tomorrow. So the cement remain, the house remain uncovered. Some people was doing house repaired. They cannot afford to pay to repair the house. Government provide that assistance because most cases they give them the material and they can't afford to pay.
That was
to
a
do the
cycle. That is
repairs.
something that took place, and then the government took the decision. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
and so look,
We'll have to pitch in here, or else all the material will go to
sometimes
go to waste.
it remain under these people's house for years. They can't get no one to help them. Government say, all right, we'll take that responsibility, put up that brigade, and assist in toilet and bathroom. We ain't watching colors.
Nope.
We ain't watching colors. Who deserve it will get it. Give an instance in someone was giving me a story in River Sally where someone received toilet and bath and everything, get a nice toilet and bath. And immediately, Dr. Mitchell ring the bell. The person put on the yellow jersey, nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing
That's
wrong
all right.
with that.
That's all right.
And she sing the song, eat them out and vote them out. Nothing wrong with
That's
that.
okay.
Because the material she received is taxpayers' money, not NNP money.
You're correct. At the end of the day,
She qualify, she receive it. You understand? So
but she ain't eating out nobody and voting out nobody.
because
Not just that because she money.
Because her money is taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
You don't come from the NNP party.
No.
It's the government of Grenada. And she pay tax. And she go to the groceries.
Yeah.
She pay tax.
So she eating she own money?
She eating she own money.
Yeah.
So we should make noise and say, let's eat them out and vote them out. No. That is your right to vote for whoever you want. You could get toilet, you could vote for NDC. You get house, you could vote for NDC. You get road, it doesn't matter.
That's your business.
That is your right to choose. But why send home the brigade when they was doing a fantastic job helping the poor and vulnerable? Why take revenge on them because you feel NNP employ them? Because you feel this man look like a NNP. As a result, people house remain uncovered. People bathroom and toilet incomplete. And the material remain on the ground to spoil. The cement will get hard. How could you take a decision like that and feel you're working in the interest of who?
People.
And I always mention on this
People.
program, you choose is whose interests they will seek. Never seek the poor man interest. Never. I remember when NDC came to power, first thing they do is to take out poor people, take out the $10 from poor people money. It was $50, Dr. Mitchell Brito, they bring it to 40. The first thing they do was to take revenge on the poor man. So I say they will learn the lesson. I can imagine the first blow NDC go make is behind poor people again. You do it the first time. We say, hey, that's bad. You take out the $10 and never get it back. Now we say, hey, yes, you get a chance now. I don't think you will take revenge on the poor people of this country because you assume or you perceive they vote for Kit Mitchell.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Well, listen, you looking after all your big friends. You say $8,000 don't enough for you. You want $35,000. Me and vex with you. Mr. Deacon Mitchell, I am vexed with you. You say Dr. Mitchell is to work for 8,000, but that don't enough for you. You want 35,000. It's okay if you feel you qualify to work for 35,000. Take your 35,000. Sister Eminem PNM is to work for like a 7 and 6,000. You say that enough for your parliamentary colleague. You want 10 and 15,000 for them. Well, take you 15,000, but at least remember the poor man. You taking bread out of the poor man's mouth. You understand? You're making sure you teach the teachers get the money. You're making sure pensioners get the money. But you want to make sure the poor man lose their job. How unfair you could be. Have a heart. This thing have a way. It does come back to haunt us, you know. Whatever you do will have consequence. It will have consequence. And some people clapping, yes, make them go. Kem Jones, make them go. Eddie Frederick, make them go. I say, Lord, what kind of society we want to build? What you at least if it was Dr. Mitchell that say, hey, I'm getting $8,000 a month, that enough. I want 35, but you would have hear rioting greater. You would have hear riot. John was going to be teachers going to raise their hand. You understand? Civil servant going to make noise. Trade union will make noise. Now everybody lose their tongue. Everybody tongue cut out. They're saying one word. They're saying, well, oh God, well, you taking $35,000 a month, Mr. Deacon Mitchell. Give the road workers an extra 5. Give the contract, give me the skilled workers who doing contracts and so on, assistant workers, extra $5 or $10. Those in the Indians too. Give them a day. Men those leave the countryside, Andre, going tongue as construction workers or assistants and getting $60 a day. They have to pay boss to go in St. George's, pay to come back, pay for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? For $60 a day. At the end, they will end up with 35 or 40. These people, you don't looking after them. But before the election, we want all you is whose interest they will seek. We want all you whose interest they will seek. They will make sure they secure their friends, their family. I hear Sister Claret making noise. Nepotism, nepotism. Sister Claret, I hear you, but if it was NNP, you'd hear nice. Nepotism, they put in their cousin, they put in their aunt, they put in their nenen, they put in their parent in high position. Sister Claret, so here you make noise for the NDC. At least I know you feel the pain. You know, Andre walked in the market, and the poor worker will approach me and say, KB, do you think they will make me go? I feel so sad. Even some of the contractors who were given that job by Sister Emmeline Pierre to clean the washroom, the toilet, and the market, they trembling every day because they've been threatened by political activists from the NDC. We're taking that from you just now, girl. You're going home just now. We're taking that from you. You don't attack someone who cleaning a toilet and embarrass them for that, and humiliate them because election time they had a green jersey on them. They support Sister Emmeline Pierre, or they support Sister Yola, or you know them is strong NNP supporters. The other day, an ex-minister approached me and he showed me, KB, you see what Kim Jones, look at my phone, you see what Kim Jones saying about me? It's time to make me go. It's time to make me go. Bam, bam, bam. I laugh. I say, boy, it's so unfair. They don't realize not all NNP supporters, family that vote for NNP. We have a lot of NNP supporters. The family vote for NDC. How you will reconcile that? When you hurt them, you go hurt the same family that vote for you. This country is so small. Everybody is family. Everybody is family. It's so small. So when you punish somebody because you feel them is a Kit Mitchell supporter, punish them. Kick them out of a job. You're hurting some of your own supporters who vote for you last election. As I said, my friend Kikaboy's son said to me, KB, is NNP that support us, that vote for us, And based on how we treat them, they will go right back home, We have to treat them good. But that is not a good start. It's not a good start. If you're going to send home the brigades and leave them with the house on cover, send home the brigades and leave the cement spoil in that rain season, is not a good start. Or threaten the toilet cleaners, people who clean the street, and tell them, are you hard enough? It's time for you to go. Are you hard enough? Are you the Kit Mitchell people? It's time for you to go. Tell you, I just feel the pain. Not only me, Sister Emmeline Pierre also felt the pain. Brother Roland Bowler, Dr. Kit Mitchell, and all NNP, all Grenadian will feel the pain because it's poor people you are attacking. What political threat these people could cause to you? Somebody that cleaning the toilet, how they could be a threat to you politically? Somebody that cleaning the street, how they could be a threat to you politically? Somebody who works with the brigade to help a poor person put up a toilet and a bathroom. How these people could be a threat to you and send them home immediately without no notice, with the cement in the rain, the house and cover. That's not a good start. That's not a good start. So the pain, that's why NNPites, you have to stay together. You have to be united to capitalize on the mistake of these people because they don't see poor people. All they see is themselves and the people at the top. Dr. Mitchell, Sister Clarice Modest, and all of them, they take only $600 for travel. Now, what $600 could do for travel? Mr. Deacon said that NNP used to get $600. No, all my minister now will be getting $2,600. Is whose interest you seek. We used to one eye, We say is whose interest you seek. They will seek their interest, not the poor man interest. I said, but no, I used to wonder how Dr. Mitchell and the NNP parliamentarian surviving on that kind of salary. How could you pay a big parliamentarian 6,000? But Dr. Mitchell said, country come first. We must make sacrifice. You cannot ask the people to make sacrifice and parliamentarian don't making sacrifice. So all of us must make sacrifice. Why watch? Them men don't sweat yet. They don't make a good day work yet. The man say he want $35,000 a month. Well, he could take his Minister of Finance. Permission granted. But you must also remember, if your dollar cannot stretch, you must also remember the poor man dollar cannot stretch too. Because when you go into the supermarket with $100, you don't know what happened, the $100 done. It can't stretch. I agree with you, $8,000 don't enough for a prime minister. Dr. Mitchell take it for how much years? You don't complain. I agree with you, Mr. Deacon. $8,000 do enough. $35,000 enough for you. No problem. But remember the poor man on the street, on the estates, the cook in the kitchen, the housewives, the housemaid, the poor people in the Indians too. Ram called me the other day, and Ram said, KB, 17 years now, we asking for 50 cents increase. Boss fee, no one looking at us. I hope no, they will give us that 50 cents because everybody getting big salary now. You understand? So, boy, I tell you, these are the same people will tell you NNP greedy. NNP people greedy. When ignorance scream, intelligence moves on. It is rather degrading for intelligent people to argue with fanatical NDC supporters who blinded by ego and resentment. The narrative, Dr. Mitchell will do nothing for the last 28 years. Nothing. Recently, as you've seen, all of them with the helmet in River Road. All of them with the helmet in River Road, examining, looking at the project. All of them with the helmet in Monkuma, looking at project. All of them with the helmet in Guav, looking at the same NNP project. The same NNP don't do nothing for the 28 years. But Andy, yeah, helmet. He's Minister of Mobilization. You see him in River Road with Claret, looking at project.
The Igwe. Wait, no, where's Carl? You go ahead. You go ahead.
You
Let me,
see
let me
them,
tell
you
my
see them in Monkuma with helmet, looking at project, NNP project. Helmet in Guav, looking at project, but they are the one that's still saying NNP ain't do nothing and want to convince you, want you to validate what they're saying, although they know it is wrong. They still want you to validate it. They know it's not true. They always say Kit Mitchell and NNP corrupt. Nothing. We can't manage. They win the election. When they look at the amount of money in the treasury, $530 million in the treasury, they ball all kind of Amway. They never thought he had all that money there. So Dr. Mitchell, you leave $530 million in the treasury for it to play mass. Let them play mass with it. You understand? They never thought Gregory Bowen and them was so skillful to manage the economy in a crisis, just coming from COVID, all country under pressure, all economy under pressure. Dr. Mitchell and Gregory Bowen and the whole team was able to save, put projects together to the tune of $530 million.
Somebody send a message for you.
Okay.
I say, all these projects you speak about, you don't know nothing because it was done in 1 month.
No, they can't do all that project in 1 month. They can't do all the project in 1 month. And I know when the poultry playing field light up, they go say it's theirs. Sister Skeeter, battle to get it. When the cultural center start, they go say it's theirs. Sister Skeeter, battle for it. When the jetty bill in Victoria, they go say it's theirs. They battle for it. I didn't surprise when my political son claimed all the credit for the plane that landed in Carriacou. I didn't surprise. He said, look, we just get in power and here we have this plane. My political son, take credit. You in power, take credit. So the thing is, man walk and dog it. Who pick those socks? Sometimes you go pelting at mango. Whole day you pelting behind a ripe one. When eventually fall, and next school child grab it and run with it.
Run away with it.
Yeah, pelt a stone, you know. But as your mango fall, he pick it up and run. Who pick those socks? The same thing. You know, the only thing I want to congratulate the NDC for doing, government is continuous. Continue all the project the NNP had in the pipeline. I want to congratulate you all. The money we had there, use it for paying pension. I still want to congratulate you all. You understand? You don't have to search for it. Mr. Dickon say when he get in power, he borrowing money to pay pension. You don't have to borrow. You meet it there. So play mass. Play mass, Mr. Dickon. You meet the money, they play mass. You know, at least you can tell people you meet an empty treasury or Dr. Mitchell and Bowen, they mismanage the economy or NNP corrupt. You can't say that. You meet everything on a silver platter. So you have a good start. You have a good start. You understand? And we will give you all the support once you're working in the interest of this country. We don't want to get involved in nothing to destabilize or bring down no government to take power. That is not our policy. You do good for the country, our children will benefit, will support you. But when you go about firing like NNP people who cleaning toilet, threatening them who cleaning washroom, threatening them who putting up blocks to build toilet or to house repair, covering people who house, you firing them because they wear green jersey. We won't accept it. We won't tolerate it. We go protest. We won't take it sitting down. We won't take it lying down. And we won't take it at all. We go protest. We go call you out. But anytime you do anything in the interest of this country, we supporting you. Because we're going to be responsible. We will be responsible. After the election, I was sitting by my friend Daigo Peters. And I saw one big trailer truck, massive equipment passing on Port 3. I said, Lord, where this equipment going? They say, KB Livera, you know, the Chinese project in Livera. I said, look at that. I said, boy, a long time I don't hear the NDC cause that project. No big bulldozer, big excavator, everything going up Livera to start the project. They clapping. They clapping. I expect soon you're going to see them up there with a steel hat. You understand? I'm going to see them up there with a steel hat, you know, and waving and shaking hands and so on. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. When that slippage we had in the west on the western side, you know, Western Main Road project, that money already there for that project. I will glad to see the NDC, Mr. Cornwall, and Minister of Mobilization, Mr. Andy, with a steel hat, go in and say, hey, good project. What if NNP come up with all this plan, yet still already forced to say, Kit Mitchell will do nothing for 28 years? I want to see what you all will do. All the mega project, Mount Hartman project, Livera project, a $360 million by in St. George's, Port Louis project, $360 million project. I want to see you all, what you all will see when this project, you know, reach its peak. I expect to see you all with all your steel hat, you know, and enjoying walking along, shaking hand, you know, and feel proud of the project. Yes, that's NNP project. The one in Grenville will start soon. Understand the vendors mall in Grenville? Very soon that will start. $28 million.
Yeah, that's another project.
That's another project.
Yeah, that one is due to start.
Due to start, you know. But
that's in collaboration with the bank, I think.
The bank, yes.
Yeah.
Yet still you quick to say Kit Mitchell do nothing. But I realize, boy, people didn't vote against us for achievement because we achieved so much. We have done so much. You understand? And yet people vote against us. Well, you have your reason for voting against us, but there is consequence to every action. And I will tell you, as NNPites, I still proud to walk the street and to say, I'm a supporter of NNP. And I will always be a supporter of NNP because we perform. You could say what you want about Dr. Mitchell and the NNP and Gregory Bowen. All you cannot say we did not perform. We perform. But as I said before, some men, they look after the home. They look after the children. They pay all the utility bills. Put the furniture, put the food in the home. And yet still, Sometimes the girlfriend still end up with a bus conductor pants that falling. What you could do? You do your best. That is the choice. You cannot see. You did not perform your duty. You did not do what you're supposed to do. You understand? NNP, if it's one election that shocked me, is this one. I thought we did well. We performed well in a crisis. You know, the IMF give us a thumbs up. The World Bank, a thumbs up. CDB, thumbs up. You understand? While you manage the economy well, while the NDC was saying, no, they manage nothing, they're good. But when NDC get into office, they say, oh, you know, Kit Mitchell and Bowen really manage this thing good, you know. They leave $530 million they force. Never in the history of this country, any government, any party taking power, get that kind of money there. They well manage it. And I said to some of them, the buffer, the buffer, the buffer.
That's
buffer.
That's Gregory's
That's
word.
Gregory, the buffer.
Mhm.
When you create a buffer, you understand? Even though the country closed down for 4 months, you have money in the corner to pay salary. And you say thanks now, Grenadians. Just say thanks. And we want you to say thanks. Imagine that in a crisis. The man created that buffer. And if the country closed down for 4 months without any revenue collection, we still have money in a corner to pay salaries for 4 months. What a noble achievement. That's no ordinary feat. NNP, stay together and proud. Be proud of your leaders. Be proud of your party. Be proud of your government because they perform with distinction. We perform with distinction. You have to be ashamed to be an NNP. You don't have to be ashamed. We did our best. You know, and it's so painful. You know, I saw it on Sister Emlyn Pierre face, you know. I saw it. You felt it in their voice. Because they feel it for poor people. This government look after everybody. Everybody. This government look after everybody. The narrative, Dr. Mitchell in power for 28 years and do nothing. But yet, as the reaching government, you see everybody with a steel hat on all the projects. This government put in place. And NPIs stay together, unite behind your leader. And we will see what will take place in the not too distant future. And I predict the NDC would not remain popular right here, you know. You feel so, you know. The margin of victory is very, very slim, you know, not much, you know. Talking about 8 votes in Guav, less than 100, and less than 200 in St. Patrick's East, less than 200 in Carriacou. That is not big margin. That's not big margin.
You're saying not margins to be comfortable with?
No, little bit of vote, man. As they sleep and the way they're going, the amount of people they're hurting in that short period of time, there will be consequence. There will be consequence. I hope they stop. I don't want to wish that they continue in order for you to make political mileage out of it. Because if they continue, it's more poor people that will be hurting. And you don't sacrifice poor people to make political mileage. You don't do that. They have children to look after. They have family. They have mortgage. You know, some of the people in the school who responsible for sanitizing the kids and so on, they came to me and they say, KB, I ain't get paid for the month since last month. I ain't get no pay. And they go tell me, stay home until they investigate.
They told him that?
Yeah, woman meet me in Grenville. She work in a Methodist school. And she said, KB, they tell me stay home until they investigate. I said, what they have to investigate? You already work. You send them home, poor people.
No, but they can pay them and say, okay, fine. We need a month to do some investigation, so we'll call you.
Exactly.
But pay them.
Pay
Don't
them.
not pay them, but
And the woman said, KB, I have to get things for my children to go to school are depending on that money. Just shake my head. I said, nothing I could do. I just hope and wish they pay you.
all right, something I want to raise with you, something that came up on the live here. And somebody said, Lord KB, you might pay for your mouth. With everything that you're saying, they might make you go.
I don't start in that, man. Make me go what? What I have to do with that?
So you mean you okay? They make you
No, accustomed with that. Everybody accustomed taking the pound of flesh. You know, you just take your pound of flesh when you're ready. You see, you must be fearless, bold, and stand up for what is truthful, what is right. If even you stand by yourself alone, you must stand for what is truthful, what is righteous. And not on no popularity campaign. Stand for what is truth and must do so boldly, fearlessly. And if even you stand by yourself alone, you must do it. You know, Andrew Donald, I look at a recent gathering at the NNP. And when I look, I see Dr. Mitchell. I saw Gregory Bowen. I saw Laurie Joseph. And I see Kennedy Budlal. I look around that hall and I saw no one else who had faced the wrath of Herbert Augustus Blaze. And I see Gregory Bowen, Gregory, Larry Joseph, hardly could walk, but he's still there. Kennedy Budlal and Dr. Kit Mitchell, 4 of us. I look around that hall. I see no one else. I saw no one else.
It is said that, and tell me, you must know, it is said that around that time, when, because we speak of this now, and I could ask you the question, I think it's fair game for me to ask you. Around that time, when that Blaze era there, that Larry was so emotional he cried.
Oh, yes. Because Larry felt he had done nothing wrong, and Mr. Blaze just fired him. Larry cried. He cried. I did not cry when I get fired. I don't know if Dr. Mitchell cried. If Dr. Mitchell cries for people, not for himself. I don't know if Gregory Bowen cried. But I look around the gathering. I saw no one else. And I said, boy, you know, Dr. Mitchell built that political machinery into one of the most fierce and fearful fighting force in this country. And some people still don't want to tell him thanks. Nobody never say, well, all your thanks. But still we do it. For the country, we do it for our party, we do it for people. I look around, I didn't see Avis Wells, she died. I didn't see my friend Lloyd Thomas, Besso Lloyd Thomas, he gone. You know, I didn't see Rocky, he gone. I didn't see Sister Delma Thomas' husband, Fitzroy Charles, who always
Her husband,
done
her father.
her father,
Yeah.
always stand up side by side with Dr. Mitchell. He gone. All I see is that there are new faces. And I ask myself, these people really know what we went through under Blaze and what we went through, the sacrifice we made to build this party that they inheriting now. Do they really understand what we went through? I say, look, they never say thanks, but that's nothing. We made, that was our contribution. We made our contribution. They ask me, KB, why we lost the election after we did so much. I say, well, boy, is the social media versus eyeball to eyeball rapport. I don't know which one, which one was more effective. You look at the social media was more effective, or we didn't do enough eyeball to eyeball rapport. But I want to argue, I want to debate that eyeball to eyeball rapport is more effective than social media. Because if I sit with Andrew Dollars and look him in the eye, he can read me. He can feel me. He can touch me. He can engage in conversation. He can look at my body language. He can know whether I'm telling lies. He can know whether I'm telling the truth. So I want to argue with him that face-to-face combat, eye-to-eyeball rapport is more effective than social media. Yes, you could reach more people. But if you're political activist on the ground, talking to people, explaining to him, demonstrating the work of the new National Party, we can't go wrong. We can't go wrong. We did not do the work. To turn around and say, Dr. Mitchell that caused us to lose. It's a pain. In NPI, you can't take that road. That is for NDC to say, not for you as NNP to say. Let them make that statement. You cannot borrow the talking pattern. That is their talking pattern. Don't borrow it. Because this government, our government, NNP government, perform with distinction. Why you think they had a steel hat now going in Monkuma? Why you think they had a steel hat going in Guave? Why you think Andy and Mr. Quanol had a steel hat going in River Road? Looking, visiting all those mega projects, proud to see the development of this country. And you borrowing the talking pattern, saying, Dr. Mitchell caused us to lose. Sometimes things happen, people feel we did too long and they want a change. They vote for change. We did too long. That had nothing to do with performance. Nothing to do with performance whatsoever. The best piece of road in Grenada is from Google Belly to Tivoli. We lose vote along that road, both sides of the road. People still vote against us. The best piece of road is from Google Belly in St. Patrick's East to go down Tivoli, Pineville Bridge. We lose vote. People don't vote. They did not vote for performance. Some people feel we did too long. We get still. So you don't want to put blame on your political leader. Yes, Dr. Mitchell will make mistake. Pamela, Moses might make mistake. But you can't say they didn't perform. No. Don't say they didn't perform. Don't say we did not deliver. You can't say we didn't deliver. $50 million in schools, repair schools, building a new schools. They will tell you they never see school in such good condition. healthy and comfortable environment for the same teachers who never like us. For what student? Tablet for the children, for the student. Uniform, hot milk, transportation allowance for student, scholarship, millions of dollars in scholarship. So you can't say we didn't perform. We perform with distinction. Yet still they say we did too long. You want that change? Okay. That is democracy. And the good thing, when we lost, we never say the thief. And we never say Zobia. We never say they thief us. And we never say Zobia. That caused them to win. They beat us fair and square. So we take the defeat and we go into opposition. We make no excuse. We ain't make no excuse and say NDC make Obia or the thief. They beat us fair and square. You understand? Even in Guav, they say KB, the Abbreviation should ask for a recount. Recount, we said, nah, recount, let it go with it. They win. We have no controversy. We don't want no controversy. The people have spoken, we listen. Go back on the drawing board, look at our mistakes, correct it, lick our wounds, and go forward. We ain't beating up on no one. We ain't ridiculing nobody. We ain't demonizing nobody. We ain't cussing Mr. Deacon. We ain't cussing his father. We ain't cussing his mother. They used to curse Dr. Mitchell's mother. They used to curse Dr. Mitchell's father. We are going down that road. We will take the moral high ground all the time. And the people will be our judge. The people will judge us. Very soon they'll compare what NDC doing and what we have done already done. People compare and make that decision come next election. We feel very, very confident. Very confident. Once NNP stay together, once we unite, once we do well in parliament, once we do well out of parliament, once we spend time in building our organization, educating our people, training our people, very soon, in my opinion, NNP stand a very, very good chance at taking power. So NNP people, we asking you, pick up your phone, man. Call Mr. Donald. Call Mr. Donald. Big up your MP. Big up your political leader. Big up your party. You understand? When Sister Kate goes to Putri, you understand? You come around and socialize. You understand? Make sure you remind the people of Putri very soon that playing field will be lighted up. You know, football in the night. Let them know that is Sister Kid project, you know. You go see, well, it's them that put it. Sister Kid. Like night and day to get that project on stream. Very soon, put you people, you will be playing football and cricket in the night. We will celebrate. We will celebrate. And we're going to remind everybody, everyone, we're not making that mistake. They must come up with their own project and say what they do. Hey, this is our plan, what we're doing. All they're doing now is to maintain the status quo and enjoy all the fruits, all the project. But you claim you had the panacea for all the problems in Greater. You had the answer. One thing with this NDC, you know, When NDC out of power, they have all the answer. But when they get in power, they always start scratching their head. What to do? We to turn. We waiting. Let me hear, let me see your plan for development. Let me see your plan for the development of youth in this country. Let me see your plan for agriculture. Let me see your plan for tourism. You always saying, hey, Dr. Mitchell want to keep poor people, children poor all the time. You don't teaching them to fish. You only give them handout. Well, you have an opportunity now to teach them to fish. You have the opportunity now to teach them to fish. You have the opportunity to say, hey, Dr. Mitchell, do like agriculture. Let we see your plan for agriculture. Let we see it. If you want to plant more cocoa, more nutmeg, you want us to plant marijuana, say so. If you want to give us an acre, 2 acres, and say to get rid of the unemployment situation, go in the bush and plant ganja. If that is your plan, say so. Come up with your plan. But all you're doing now is to maintain the status quo, pay you like a salary, take money for yourself, you understand, and visit those mega projects the NNP have on stream. Well, let me see what you're bringing new to the table. We're waiting on you, NDC. We're waiting on you. Let me see what plan you have, what new you bringing to the table. You blah, 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 but when you're in opposition, now it's time to perform. Now is time to perform. NNPites, don't sit back. Get yourself involved in structuring the party. Get yourself involved in your party groups. Bring your children, bring your husband, bring your wife, and let's build the structure in our party.
Okay. Normally, after you'd have completed the first hour
Yeah.
in our program, and the first hour has gone by, so
Our gun already?
yeah, the first hour since we've been here. Remember, we got here later.
Okay.
We got here at we started at 1:45,
Yeah.
and it's now 12 minutes to 3. So an hour has gone by with you chatting.
Take your calls.
Calls, yes, the phone line that's open. You can send us you can call, you can send a message. We'll be happy to read it to our listeners and viewers. So 442-0175. That's the number. You can do it. Let me see the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp phone is not charged, so I'd have to do some charging up on the WhatsApp phone. I'd have to do that just about now. So maybe you can give it about 15 minutes, and then we'll see if we can take some calls here via the WhatsApp. But it's not charged right now, so you can call in straight on 442-0175. Give us a call, and we'll be very, very happy to hear from you. Also, I'd like, and I'm speaking this straight up and above board. Yes, there was blatant disrespect when it came to Dr. Mitchell, who called him all sorts of names, any name they figured. And I just like to say to those who are commenting under our live, whether you like it or not, there's absolutely nothing that you can do at this particular point in time in relation to changing who the Prime Minister of Grenada is. You can't do anything right now. So whether you like it or not, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell. And while I could understand that there are going to be times when you're going to slip, you're going to lapse, and you're going to say Deacon Mitchell, yeah. But when you constantly do it, it means that you are developing a habit, and that is not good. It's not good for our culture at all. And you have to understand that it's just not good for our culture. this is not the people we were brought up to be. You're brought up to have respect for people, irrespective if the person is your elder or not your elder. If a person has a position, you have respect for the position.
Office.
In growing up, KB did it, I did. Teacher Melda, teacher
Yeah.
Frank, teacher
Yeah.
what? You added that sort of respect to them. All right, and I'm saying, let us as Grenadians, or put it better, if you want me to put it, let us as supporters of the new national party show difference. Let us as supporters of the new national party show a difference. You're gonna refer to Prime Minister Mitchell, Deacon Mitchell, that is, refer to him as Prime Minister.
Of course, yes.
And don't go with the deacon, like, no.
No.
I honestly, I'm telling you straight up, it is not something that I appreciate.
That is not NNP.
Exactly.
That is not NNP.
That is not members of the new national party. We never learned it that way. Don't do so and adopt their thing. It's by adopting their thing that you lost the election, straight up.
Yes.
So no, now, do not adopt their thing. He is Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell. But that you could don't like it as your business.
But he owned that.
He owned it.
He owned it.
You know, as the thing would say, give him what it is.
Yeah, man. He deserves it.
Give him what it is.
He worked for it. He qualified for it.
You understand? I just thought I'd let people know, that. All right. Everybody asking me if Carl not joining us today.
Carl Clayton.
I don't know. I can't say. Did I send him the link? Yes, I did. But I have not heard. I have not heard from him. I have not heard from him. So I don't know. Should I send it again now, man? No.
Carl say yes, expect you to pick him up,
What, you saying that day now?
No, before when I was
no, you see, that was not the conversation, or that is not how I understood the conversation.
Okay.
Because you see, KB, I tell you straight, picking him up is fine. When I'm finished here, when we are finished talking, KB, speaking for 3 hours straight is not an easy task, eh?
No.
And so when we finished, to go back to Grenville to drop him off
and come back,
and then come back alone, that is a serious task.
You'll be drained.
I'll be drained. So I don't know if the conversation went that way, but of course I did say to him when he called, I said, but I did not understand the conversation to go that way. And I do apologize for that. But and that is something, again, too, that is something that and KB, I'm saying this to the NNP, the membership of NNP. Listen to this and listen to this very carefully. For Kennedy to leave his home and come here every Sunday, do not believe that it is a simple thing. And for him to be able to bring information to you every Sunday, it means that he must be researching, reading to bring information to you. I'll tell you what happened today. Stop sending your comments and your questions right now. Pause with your fingers and listen to what happened today. I went to pick him up as per usual, and we got to Mongrose, close to the secondary school. And KB's like, Dre, I believe I forgot a pot in the fire. There's only one thing to do. Turn around. And that's why we got here late. That's why we started late. I had to turn around. There's nothing else to do. Because we would have been seated here and he'd have been wondering, did I leave that on? Or blap, he gets a phone call, knock on wood, house on fire. So we had to go back. Go back so he can check it out. So I'm saying all these things happen when we are trying to put together a program that will give you information, a program that has content. And it's not for easy for one. So that's why, I mean, sooner or later, we have to find a way to make KB mobile because it is not easy. I'm telling y'all, it's not easy for one person to be doing all the driving. To go pick him up, bring him here, go back, and then come back by myself. It's not an easy task. For those of you who like to drive, then yeah, but I mean, I've done enough driving in my life already, not really to like the whole driving thing. So yes, so understand that and appreciate the fact that we do it for you. Every Sunday we get the opportunity. Once there's no cricket.
Yeah, all we asking is for NNPI to pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Those who don't like picking up the phone, do something for your party. Register if it's one of your child whom that reach 80, go and register them. Talk to them. Talk to them. The destiny of this country and this party is in your hands. Talk to them. Dr. Mitchell by himself alone, he can't do it by himself alone. Sister Emlyn Pierce, Sister Kate Lewis, Sister Delma Thomas, they cannot do it by themselves alone. They need your assistance. Pick up the phone. Give them encouragement. Give them encouragement. Whenever they're having social fundraising, participate. Because very soon the party will embark on serious fundraising activity to help those people who have serious financial problems in the home. Those who sick, they can't afford medication. We might have to do the barbecue, raise the funds, give it to these people. Serious house repairs. We might have to raise the funds and give it to them. People have problems sending their children to school. We have to raise funds and give it to them. Understand? So you must participate. I know the dollar cannot stretch. But if we have a little barbecue and we ask you to participate, $10 or $15, you make the sacrifice. Because at the end of the day, you could be saving life, you'll be touching someone's life. That is the kind of activities the NNP will be embarking on in the future. Keep the party alive, keep our people going, unite our people. Show that we don't forget them. We can't forget them. We will be in the trenches with them. We'll be there for them. We prepare to defend them. In season, out of season, rain season, sun season, we'll be there for you. And as we said before, when they victimize you, we won't take it lying down. We won't take it sitting down. We won't take it standing up. And we won't take it at all. Your political leader and your MP will make noise in parliament for you. Andrew Donald, KB, Master Call, everybody will make noise on radio for you. We will stand up for you. And one thing,
Go ahead.
Andrew Donald said, we won't leave you alone.
We here. We have a call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
And good afternoon to Kerry.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the listening audience out there and viewing audience on Facebook. Kerry, I had listened to your talk. Spoken. about several projects. For instance, I heard you say about 3-4 times that the Minister of Mobilization and Implementation is now wearing helmets and walking around. But Kerry, we should not forget that it was the 2008, 2013 NMP Tillman Thomas administration that negotiated, not Monkuma. I wouldn't say Monkuma project, but you see the River Road mitigation, which is the St. John's River, the St. Patrick's Road rehabilitation project, the schools rehabilitation project, which for Montrose, PBC School, and quite a number of schools. All those projects was signed, sealed, and negotiated by the NDC 2008 to 2013, KV. So,
Okay.
KV,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Could I go ahead?
You have more to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to speak the facts and let the people know what is going on here, KB.
I'm very appreciative of one word that you just used. We need to speak the facts. So
Yeah.
you have included yourself, and that is so sweet. Because you need to go and check your facts.
Andrew, I don't have time to argue with you.
I'm not arguing.
I don't have
I am not arguing. I'm
so
not
I'm not
arguing.
speaking facts.
Say again?
I'm not speaking facts.
That is what I said. Yes. That's what I
You
said.
speaking facts.
I didn't say anything, you know. Remember, it was KB that was speaking. I didn't say anything.
KB speaking facts.
Say again?
Are KB speaking facts?
I said that you weren't speaking facts. Why are we going bantering? It's just that you said your bit, I said my bit. But you don't want me to talk?
Oh, no, listen. All I'm saying, the project which is saying that the ministers are visiting with the helmet on, apart from the Monkuma Road, the St. John's mitigation.
You're not correct. Shut up. That's stupidness day.
What do you mean I'm not correct?
I say you're not correct. Goodbye. Carl, good day. How you doing? I see you. I just get, so that joke.
Since we're talking facts, and he's talking about the projects and so on, ask him about the airline, the transportation from Karakou. When they say what the NMP didn't do in 5 years, they do it in 1 month. Ask him if that's facts. Because he seems to have an affinity for facts, selective facts. Good afternoon, gentlemen and listeners to Real FM.
I trust me, I doesn't like to think. They just upset me, and they had to stop that stupidness now, man.
Don't let that be the thing. Don't let that.
Yes, I like that I'm interfering.
No,
and get upset, man. That joke.
You don't handle him proper.
Oh, you mean I don't handle him proper? There's no better way to handle him.
No, you don't handle him proper.
Stupid.
Nah, you see, when you behave like that, the people who oppose us, who disagree with us, they wouldn't like to call. But I love people who oppose us and disagree.
Listen to me. They wouldn't call anyway, KB. Let me tell you, I'll tell you when they'll call. Anytime you hear I am not on the radio, because they know they can't call it the ask Carl. Carl, am I correct? Yes or no?
He doesn't wake up early when you're on the radio.
No, because they know they can't come and talk that stupidness on them.
You see, I think we had to handle it better. When I was in NDC, the person who drawn up the project for St. Patrick's Road was my friend Joe Gilbert.
Of course, he's the one that did that.
Joe Gilbert had started it. But the project was redesigned and seek new funding somewhere else. But there is no doubt the person who first, put it on paper was Joe Gilbert in the NDC.
Under the NDC.
And the NDC. But that.
Well, when you come in and when you come in and tell me should be about the NDC, the
River Road thing.
The River Road thing.
No.
The Grenada Seventh-day Adventist Comprehensive School.
No.
And when you come in and tell me that should be so I just sit down here and take that. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
That is what caused.
Yes.
That is what caused the NNP to be out of office today. Here's what. I'm telling you that, I tell you Carl that. Because we sat back and said nothing.
Yeah.
We allowed them to propagate their lies.
Yeah.
And you have to stop them. Irrespective if they're not going to call back. That's not okay. I want them to call back. But irrespective if they're not going to call back, you have to put them in a place.
But you have to ask him how long NDC was in office.
No.
That about
We've got
10
another
years
caller.
ago. You know.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Andrew. Afternoon, TV.
And don't, let me tell you something here. Don't go on and on and on and on and on, because you might get the same treatment. Tell me.
So, yeah, Andrew, as you just said, I support 100% because we are
don't support me. Support yourself in what you're saying.
Yeah, we sit back and we let people continue spreading the lie, and we know the truth and we had the facts and we did not say anything. A lot of people believe what the people are saying was the truth and they're lying. But we have to stand, and when they lie, to call them out for their lying. And I always say, when someone continue to lie, they go lie, and they go get back out of office. I want to say to NMP, let us unite, let us sit together. Because we have to expect in any competition there will be a winner. But when we lost, we have to go back and look at our mistake and come back stronger where we're strong, and where we're weak, we are strengthened there. All right? So,
thank you.
Have a blessing.
You too. Yeah, stop that, man. Come on.
Yeah, the Montreal Secondary School, that $50 million was part of the $50 million the NNP, mobilized to fix, repair, and build over the school. I don't think they wanted to do all that work in Montreal Secondary School, but I think when they attacked the roof,
the roof,
they realized, hey,
call them beat out the roof.
Yeah, no, we need additional financing to do the roof and so on.
My good kitten boy. I ain't hearing you happen. You just think that what happened. All your study out the roof in the Seventh Adventist.
My thing is simply, Andre, when we're living in a democracy, people are entitled to their own view.
That's correct.
But not to their own facts. And I agree with you on the limb that the persons attached or supportive of the new National Party sat idly by and allow a lot of mistruth to be peddled. Now, the Montreal School, facts. When the work started, it should have been done and given up a long time ago. So if they don't believe me, go and ask the contractor. But when they touch the side of the existing building, the roof in particular, the government of the day had to go and seek other fundings. So it's improper to say everything was signed and sealed already, and that is facts. And that is nothing about politics or looking at it through a political lens. Because government is a continuum. A wise government will continue with good projects, what makes sense, or project that is value for money. And it's nothing about, there's no slight or no looking less than continuing projects. So if the present administration intend and continue projects started by the past administration, is something good. However, when you give in the idea to people that the projects are only happening because you come in 2 months' time, and KB, you spoke on the Livera project. Now, when all the negotiating and so on was going on for the Livera project, many persons who are now in government came up there and was marching. As a matter of fact, they had to have police by the gate to stop them from going down on the project and talking about heritage and so on. But heritage, all of a sudden, the administration changed. No talk about heritage, but bigging up of the project. And very soon, you will see the minister again. Well, when you go on any construction site, it is common knowledge that you wear hard hat, helmet, as they would say. But very soon, you will see the minister and others in the Shambo area, in the Shambo basin, where the Chinese agreed to dig some well for the water project. Very soon, you will see the minister there taking credit for that project again. So the people will hear that as they come in, they do the water project in Shambo. Now, I believe you should continue good projects. And I applaud this present administration for doing same. There are things they would do that I would agree with, and I would say so. And there are things what they would do which I would not agree with, and then based on the fact that a lot of people just consult and speak to me and give me the ideas, I will speak the truth of those persons. So when I come here, I have no agenda politically or otherwise, but my agenda is about Grenada. And I always say on this medium, it is not about NNP time. It is not about NDC time, but it's about Grenada time. And when things happen, what you condemn before, I dare say, do it different. Most times, we are tempted to say, do it better. I wouldn't use the word better. I would say, do it different. Because if you say all along and you convince the majority of the Grenadian public, over 30,000 persons of the Grenadian public, that you would do things different, you can come now and doing the same or even worse than what been done, and don't expect people to talk. And whenever you talk, the empirical evidence is that the letters have been promulgated all on social media, but you still hear people asking you to bring the evidence. What evidence? The letter and the section of which the persons was mischief was there. The Attorney General, the AG, agreed that people were sent home, and she agreed it was done proper. The people in the union, Ms. Harris and others, contest that it was not done proper. So when you ask, what evidence else you asking for? When what happened is a fact. When you move people from geriatric care to working on farms, when persons who are permanently employed in homes are now being supervisors on the debauching project, what facts what more facts do you want? What facts are you asking for?
What you say there, Carl? I didn't get that one. That tail end
When
one?
persons who are permanently employed in homes, like caregiving homes and so on, and they are seen as supervisors in the debushing project. When you see these things happening, what facts you want? And if you say it was not done, it was nepotism and so on, why don't you do it? Oh, well, maybe, oh, my bad, it is done different. So people who work in other place could supervise. So, all right, I get it. Because when these people speak, you have to understand where they're speaking from, and it's not just ordinary talk. So that is the empirical evidence. So to ask where is the evidence and to claim, as the caller say, who done it before, but who had the fortitude to get it done? The moral man knows what to do, but the ethical man does it. And that is the difference. A moral man always knows what's right and wrong until you hear what he does. But the ethical man does what is right. And that is the crux of the matter. That is the eating of the pudding. It's not about who that and who that, but who had the backbone, who had the belly to secure the funding to do it. Because any project that would benefit Grenada is a good project. And if the National Democratic Congress government do anything that would benefit Grenada, I'll be the first in the air to say, well done. And it must only be done, but it has to seem to be done right. And a lot of things which are happening now, it is not seem to be done right. When you make poor people children go on the breadline, and the same section you're using to make them go, you have people among you violating it. So let me just break it down simple, because they say bring the evidence. If people take part in election with NNP jersey, and people take part in election with NDC jersey, why is only the NNP people you're making go? If we're in jersey in election based on where you're working was wrong, why only NNP people you give letter? Why you didn't give everybody what way jersey in it who you feel shouldn't weigh? Why you didn't give all of them letter to go home? Why you picking on one set? And that is the crux of the matter. Justice must not only be done. People have to argue that justice is done, else it's a problem. And justice delayed is justice denied. And these are facts. This is not in Master Cal makeup. This is not in KB makeup. This is not in Andre Donald makeup. These are the facts. So we are entitled to our opinion, but we're not entitled to our facts. Straight up. So if you use this section and you say in your main argument is these people did not conduct because they bring it into disrepute. They didn't conduct themselves as should during the election time. But there are people who do that for wear green jersey. There are people who do that for wear yellow jersey. But why are you prosecuting only green jersey wearers? And that is the crux of the matter. And that's what need to be answered. And when you're asking for $30,000 as salary, you have to answer because there is this thing going around back and forth. The Attorney General, the truth abideth not, because she didn't think to natural justice, saying one thing, but you, the leader, because for all intention and purposes, you energize the NDC based enough to vote in NDC. In many constituencies, the NDC won the constituency because of you, Mr. Prime Minister, because they vote for people they didn't even know. So you have a moral obligation to address an issue like that, whether or not it is. And then you, when you came in, you spoke about increasing salary for government ministers, and I agree. And you gave reasons, which was good. You say the amount of work they have to do, one. You say for perceived or real corruption. And those were good reasons for you to say to raise it. And we agree. Because I also felt since in NNP time the ministers was thinking that they didn't get enough. And I don't have no problem with this one. Because you address a real issue that affects Grenadians, because it affects the leaders. And if they're not comfortable, they cannot perform. So I agree with you. So now that this thing going back and forth, the union has addressed it. So you can't say it's Real FM, the station in the bush, what addressed it. The union, the Public Workers Union has addressed it. So it's not a case with Carl Keaton and Andrew and KB, who is NNP people talking about it. And what? And what is here instructive to note, Andrew Donald, and must be noted. Miss Hazard in her deliberation said unequivocally she was rooting for Miss Claudette Joseph to win. She said she was rooting for the Congress to win. So that means she don't have no axe to grind, and for her to say because NNP lose, she vexed. She said openly who she was rooting for. She said those people are her colleagues. Those people are her friends. So you can't put it in the context of Master Carl, KB or Andre, and you go say because they lose, they vex. No. Miss Hazard, who openly say where she stands with you, contradict what you say. So what about facts and evidence you're asking for? Daisy Hazard gave facts. The persons were paying union dues and whatsoever. And a learned attorney in Grenada and Mr. Ferguson, in his discussions, spoke on temporary. And natural justice says, once you do more than 3 months, you cannot be considered temporary anymore. And natural justice demands, even if you feel people conduct themselves in a manner during the election, and you are the government of the day, even if you felt so, there are certain hurdles you have to cross up preambles. First, you have to inform the people of the conduct. Secondly, you have to bring them before a tribunal, a reasonable tribunal, not no kangaroo court. But what you do is kangaroo court, and the Attorney General, who is a lawyer by profession, ought to know what is the meaning of kangaroo court. Kangaroo court is no justice. When you become judge, jury, and executioner, like what they used to do black man on the farm. So if you're doing the same thing a white man used to do black man on the farm, he ain't making noise. And then the same thing you say Black Lives Matter. How Black Lives could matter to you when you're watching black people get trampled upon and you agree it is the right thing to do? When you did not exercise exercise natural justice, so you know. It's not a case when you used to beat up on Nicky Steele and say they put him in health and he's not a doctor. You is a lawyer. You is a legal representative of Grenadians. You is a legal advisor to the cabinet. So you have to advise on law and not your feelings. And natural justice, KB was not, the people was not given an opportunity. Tell them what they're doing. They was not given an opportunity to be heard. But yet you make them go. And if you making them go under the public service rules, the public service is the one to deal with them. So there's nothing political about that. That's just common sense. And that is the crux of the issue here. And a government that is termed, quote unquote, bright. You ought to know. And as I explained Friday, victimization is when you single out people for cruel and unusual punishment. What happened in Carriacou and the cooks and the sanitizing people on them? True to no fault of theirs, KB. They was employed. They didn't have no dog in the race, no skin in the game. All they know is like sufferers don't care about country. Sufferers don't care about who. White, black, gay, straight. All they concerned about going to work and concerned with the next dollar coming from to take care of the family. And you rob them of that right. So what about evidence you have to bring in? You tell them don't come to work. What about evidence? You don't pay them. What about evidence? And what is instructive to note? You boast that the treasury was pregnant when you're coming. And that is testament to the prudent management of the country by Dr. Mitchell and the NNP. Because if they did not manage the country proper, you wouldn't find that money. So you can't say they didn't manage the country right. So the next thing you're doing is to beat up on poor people, children. And then you have some people still asking about bring evidence, and about who forced to do that. And let it deal with now. The difficult must be done now.
The impossible?
And the impossible will take care of itself. The difficulty is now address these people, because it's not a lack of funds. Because you say the treasury had so much money, you don't know why Dr. Mitchell didn't pay the money. You tell people that, you tell the nation that. So it's not about lack of funds thereof. And even if you say the faith-based organization, when you do your investigation on X, Y, and Z, the persons employed is not the problem. They was employed with somebody. So settle it, do what investigation you have to do, and who hide have to skin the hide. But when everybody who supports you is promulgating all kind of classified documents on social media, how are you asking us to bring evidence when you have all the evidence? When you have all Pablo Paul information on social media, you still asking for evidence? Well, I something had to wrong. What more evidence you want? A confession to a crime? You have to be, and that is the crux of the matter, Andrew. What should be addressed? There are persons who they may go. There are persons who are not being paid for work done. And you cannot punish these people even if you think they vote for NNP. Because when you check it out, a lot of these persons may have well voted for NDC. So what you're doing, you're punishing them based on your perception. I think something had to done. So you not bring evidence, because what is instructive here are the persons who are not known sympathizers of NNP. Ruggles Ferguson speak on this thing. Daisy Hazard and Grimes speak on this thing. So it's not persons sympathetic to NNP to say NNP people. Your people calling you out. And take note, you only have about 1,500 days in governance. About 1,500 days and counting. I rest.
1,500 days to go.
Yeah. That's something they must not forget. Never ever forget.
What are you saying? Not far?
No,
Carl?
1,500 days. Can you
1,500
just say you
days
come
thereabout.
by 1 second just now?
I want evidence. The evidence says about 1,500 days. That the evidence.
Hold on.
You ask for evidence, that the evidence.
1,500 days before the next election.
I'm addressing the NNP here now. NNP people, there was a swing in the last election of 11.2 points. And when you calculate that in scientific terms, there were 10,000 votes, thereabouts. Now, even the scientific people that did the poll was wrong. It was wrong. What NNP people has to understand, fact one, whenever a government is in office and they call election, the general thing is that they lose at least a 2% swing. There are some seats, St. Patrick's East, Carriacou, and St. John's. You have to understand the matrix here. Secondly, now the result of the election should give NNP a time to be out of government and look from outside. Because sometimes when you're doing something too long, sometimes you get clouded and blinded. That's the second point. The third point, it gives the NNP a time to strengthen and to find out what went wrong and to find out why so many persons sympathetic to NNP didn't even vote. They don't go and vote. They was not energized enough to go out and vote. They leave the voting finger on the shell. And the New National Party is not just a party. What we have to understand, and even the cynics and the naysayers and NNP people, NNP is an institution. Most of the development in Grenada was spearheaded by NNP, whether the idea came from NDC or wherever. But NNP had the testicular fortitude to get it done. Facts. So the NNP is an institution. An institution don't just go away so. Now, we have to understand that united we go forward. We have to understand that all that happened, we have a base of nearly 29,000 people. We also must understand why over 20,000 people didn't see it fit to go to the polls. So if you check real numbers, the government is a minority government because 28,000 vote for NNP, 20,000 vote, 48,000 people who didn't vote for the government. So when we're looking at numbers, and numbers don't lie. So NNP shouldn't have their head on the ground. They should be proud and allow the NDC to govern. Though I'm not even advocating that NNP bad mind the government. You have to allow the government to govern. However, that shouldn't stop you from venting your opinion. But allow the government to go on. Don't see like you're fighting to bring down the government. Give them an opportunity for the next 1,500 days. And what that will do in the next 1,500 days, we'll be able to compare and contrast, which was not our opportunity before. And that would be the phenomenon, Andre Donna.
So you're telling me to hold on, Carl, for the next 1,500 days?
We can't
just continue.
We can't do nothing about it.
I didn't tell you hold on for the 100 days. You so choose.
Okay.
So I'm in no way, shape, or form advising you what you ought to do. You're big and you have sense. So NNP people, we need to do what we need to do. Hear me. And I'm going to put it like that, hear me. Simple. The bus has to be repacked.
Yeah.
Some people might have to change seat. Some might have to go out the bus and allow some to come in. And all that have to be done in love. Even those what might have to go out of the bus, we still don't throw in them under the bus. We might still look for some taxi or what and tell them what, we go move with that. And that's how we have to approach it in KB. No one should be left behind. So we have to meet somebody, call somebody, and check out somebody.
Knock on a door by somebody.
Yeah, man.
I've been picking up something which I advocated for a while, and I heard that something is in the making to raise funds or find funding somewhere to assist those among us who means cannot afford them. And I am one who applaud that move and would be instrumental in being part of that.
Is that a constituency by constituency or a total thing of the new national
Well,
party?
I think it might be coordinated centrally, but it has to be administered constituency by constituency.
Okay. I've got a call online, Carl. Let's take a call. Can you have a same point along that running there?
Now, one point I need to make.
Yeah, make it.
And that in itself, KB, would give us an opportunity to strengthen the constituency branch, KB.
Yeah.
So that twofold thing. The party wins, the members win. Yeah, Andre, take that call.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Andre, afternoon. How are things with you?
I'm there.
Okay, afternoon to KB and the rest of the
Good afternoon.
Andre, I'm from Grenada. I usually call your station. I came out to Carriacou and I came with my vehicle, and I have to admit that the moment I entered the new Tivoli Bay, Harvey Vale area, I got very, very emotional. When I haven't been to Carriacou in about 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
When I saw the level of development and the transformation of this place. And as I said, I came up with a vehicle, so I've been driving around all morning and went over to PT Martinique. And I mean, for the life of me, I cannot figure out how Kendra Maturin Stewart could not have won the seat if it was based on her not delivering, because that was what was bandied about by the present representative. Now, she did nothing. But back home, I didn't come up here for all these years. So you're hearing you on radio, on media conferences and things saying that nothing was not done. And in many respects, Carriacou put Grenada to shame. In the road network, the kind of buildings, the development I have seen here. And I mean, I'm just astounded as to why somebody like that, who you could definitely see delivered, lost an election in a place like Carriacou. And I mean, in Grenada, January with the NMP's performance. But I'm repeating myself. When that boat pulled in, I just had to restrain myself that tears didn't come to mind. When I saw, you know what, I mean, honestly, there have to be a place in heaven for the new National Party. Honest to God. I mean, I cannot get over what I've seen. And there seem to be some project that is still ongoing, maybe left over from the last administration. I mean, God willing, tomorrow I'll do some more exploring and thing. And I mean,
you might have to file a report first. File a report first.
Anyway, so that's what I wanted to make, the contribution I wanted to.
All right. All the best and take care of yourself.
Yeah, thanks.
God bless. Good. KB, that which that gentleman did, that is what you were calling for.
Yeah. Right through the end.
Right through. That is what your party supporters did not do.
They didn't blow the trumpet.
That is what, KB, caused you
to lose the election.
We
used to ask them, we say, MP, tell you people to call.
See, I'm on leave here.
Yeah.
Go up.
Yeah.
And is blown away
by
what he saw when he landed. And he went up with his vehicle, so he just drive off.
You know, you have some constituency that never call, not make a phone call and pick up the MP. Don't even mention work done in the constituency, in the village. Not one day. They say, me strong NNP, they long in the party. Just tell you, strong NNP. You don't blow your trumpet. You don't be like the yard fowl. You don't cracker when you lay an egg. You have to make noise. You don't take things for granted.
We have another caller. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I've been listening to KB and this afternoon and Carl, and I have to agree with both gentlemen. But in fact, throughout the year, KB has been making the point that is the politics that counts. The NNP, or I would even dare to say no party has lost election in Grenada because the government didn't work. Despite true, the NDC had so much conflict and infighting, and I believe that's why they lost election. But you lose election because you didn't do the politics. Because you did not do the politics. And I sometimes hope and pray that some of the politicians had listened to KB. Because KB has been on that consistently. And politicians have to take a page from the book of the little master, Dr. Mitchell. Look at the ease with which he wins his seat. But because the opposition and the enemies of progress and everybody else who against him is attacking him, it's simply because they are jealous of his success. It's like Rav Gonzalez in St. Vincent. They attack him, but his constituency have confidence in him. And this gentleman that called the last gentleman about Kayako, I agree with him because I worked in Kayako and I've been to that place a number of times. And I've always mentioned the development, not only in infrastructure, but also in education, sports, etc., etc. I think these are some of the things that have to change, and the new national party have to remember that people gave them a convincing mandate on 3 occasions, and they set the bar so high that when you set the bar high, sometimes you could, the same people expect a certain standard. And when the criticism comes, if you do not have your public relations team to deal with it, you could be in trouble. So I agree with that. But the last point I want to make, when you listen to the brothers in the diaspora, we are speaking here about in political victimization of the marginalized. But they in the diaspora are speaking about the prime minister's son who want to work. So they make, perhaps I don't even know if that is an issue, but they make that the issue. And they're avoiding the fact that we are speaking about simply political victimization. You know? And I believe that it's even more justification, it's even more reason for us to stay on that issue. Because if you don't have voices in this country speaking for the marginalized people working for $1,200 a month, if you don't have voices speaking for them, then who in God's name will? Yes, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Great contribution.
The caller, I want to explain. He made a point about Dr. Mitchell. And I want NNP people to understand what I'm saying. And I know the caller would understand. And I go back to the fact that we pride ourselves and tell everybody we are a Christian nation. And it is a warfare between good and evil, the Ancient of Days and Beelzebub. And Beelzebub never stopped attack the Ancient of Days. Now, everything the Ancient of Days does, he try to bring an alternative and say that are good. In the garden, he tell Eve, watch, if you eat at the fruit, you go see good and evil. The man don't want you to do. And the attack is always on that. Now, in the context of Grenada and that, the attack will always be on Keith Mitchell, because even as NNP lose election, they still have a fear for the ability of Keith Mitchell. So they will try their best to trample upon him. And persons in the new National Party have to understand that. So when this whole mandate of time for him to go, they have to understand that is a vice used by the opponents and unsuspectingly. Just like when they went, the Son of Man went to worship the Ancient of Days. And then he asked Lucifer, where you come out? Even the Son of Man didn't realize Lucifer there with them. So when they start to peddle this thing about Kit Mitchell had to go and them kind of thing and them, is for their benefit. Because they believe, KB, if the NNP unceremoniously go after Kit Mitchell, it's easy for them.
Of course, yes.
And that's what they want to happen. So we as NNP people, we have to guard against that. And Dr. Kit Mitchell deserves for him to take his time when he's ready to go, KB.
I
Cannot
agree with you.
push him under boss.
I agree with you 100%.
So those NNP people who might be thinking out and saying you have to understand what here is at play. Just how we sat during the election, most of us don't allow misshoot and lies and propaganda to reign and we say nothing. That the narrative being pushed. Now, case in point, the new person appointed to the Senate by the political leader NNP. There's this big talk now going around how even the executive didn't know. But the problem is, they didn't know to start to beat up on the person.
Right.
So they're trying to make it sound like, oh, even executive members to entrap NNP on sex. So you say, yeah, but we don't know they're doing it. So we have to understand what here is exactly, KB. Now is a time for vigilance.
Yeah.
Because they smell blood and they want to put their foot on our neck. We can't allow them to do that.
No, we must
We cannot
never
allow them
to
do Dr. Mitchell that. We can't allow that, KB.
He's too important. He's too valuable. He's too valuable. He's too valuable. You see, we can't borrow the talking pattern. We can't be speaking after them. We can't be echoing what they're saying. Some NNP fall into that.
They're falling victim to that. And you're hearing them talking about our thing. But
We have another call.
our opponents only doing that. Hey.
No, you go ahead. Finish your point, Carl.
Our opponents only doing that to weaken the NNP. And we falling victim to that, KB.
We wouldn't allow it. We have to stop it.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hi, not too bad. I hope everyone is doing good.
Yeah.
I'm just calling, not to get off topic or anything, so please forgive me. But I had a gentleman who's asked me for a while now to call to find out some information for him. He's a retired police officer. He was in the force for 17 years and retired in 2007. He wants to know, like, where can he start in regards to finding out about gratuity or pension or so. Do you have any information you can give me? He's listening right now.
Hold on. Hold on there. Carl, did you hear that?
Well, you have to check. You have to check the pension secretariat. I think somewhere going up on Lucas Street, close to where the Red Cross building is, somewhere around the area.
Did you say he was a police?
For 17 years.
Yeah.
He worked with
He was a police officer for 17 years.
Because what he led is
hold on, Carl. I'm just trying to get what she said. What you're saying? What are you saying, ma'am? To repeat that again, please.
So he worked in the fire department for 17 years.
Oh, you worked in the fire department for 17 years. But was he a police officer? Because that's two distinctly different things.
Yes.
Was he a police?
Yes, he was.
He was a police. All right, 17 years was a police. Carl, what can you say on that? What
the legislation says, and not my words, once he didn't pass the rank of an inspector, once he make 10 years service, he's entitled to a gratuity of 6/15 of his salary. So he ought to go to the pension secretariat and they would ask of him for certain documents which he should provide. And he should do that one-timely, because the 60 million would not be enough to let you go early. So all he talk about 60 million. All he talk about 60 million. We're finding out now that the 60 million is simply not enough. It's closer to 400 million, as the mathematician say. I don't know, man. Go under the school and a mathematician will figure their thing.
Oh, that's good.
60 million.
So he has to check the pension secretariat, and they would treat me.
She's gone. We have another caller. Good afternoon. No, lost that one. Let's go again, Carl. You're saying? I just said 60 million Frenchmen can't be wrong.
But in that case, by 60 million smackaroo is not enough.
No, not enough.
That filalet is too small. Because, Andre, you have to take into consideration every police officer who make at least 10 years and do pass the rank of inspector. He or his estate could come knocking in.
And how much you anticipate these people have to get? Each individual.
Carl, you're saying here that all police officers who would have died, their estate can come knocking.
Yeah, once they legitimately prove that they was part of the thing.
Okay.
You have to pay. The thing say you have to pay to the person of the estate.
Caller. Good afternoon. Hello. You're listening to your radio, to your computer or your device. If you can shut that off and listen to us, it'll be great. Hello. Goodbye.
Hi.
That wasn't answer.
Now, people have to learn, KB, when you're calling us, do not listen to
the
radio, whatever device. Listen to your phone. That's where you're gonna get it.
And there is this notion that 60 million is retroactive. That is not proper.
Because your boy just saying that in your car. Look at it up on the screen. Your boy Anthony is saying 60 million is retroactive.
Because they did not take into consideration the liability. And Andre, what you find happen? Every police who make 20 years could just decide to go in now, and have a run on the pension thing. So 100, 200 police who make the 20 years KB could just say, I didn't know if I go in. You see what happened to Care Bank with debug and when everybody run on the bank and the bank didn't have the money? KB, you had the,
I understand. So once you make 20 years, you could just say, all right, I'm done with that.
Yes.
I'm going to collect my pension.
And I have empirical evidence of persons who've done that in the past. So I don't speak in no cock and bull here.
All right, so let's take another caller. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes? Hello, hearing you.
Yes. Sorry. I want to join with Mr. Kyle on the spiritual side. I went back to the word and first things, they could check it out later on. First Kings chapter 12, verses 8 and 12. Now they will see what the word is saying about the elderly advisors and the young advisors. And the Jeroboam took the advice, the king took the advice of the older, the younger men, and the problem arises in the country of Israel. I just want to pattern that to what is going on today in Geneva. A lot of people are talking about change, as Sadie was saying. They're talking about change, they did not looking at the prosperity of what was going on in the country. So there is where we are. Another thing, I don't want to elaborate no more on that. Another thing, I just want to ask Mr. Kai, is there a law for the government to just raise the government people's salary? You keep saying, Mr. Kai, you're doing and doing things. Where that money coming from at this point in time? They're sending home all these people. I am bleeding, I'm crying for our people, for what is happening. And I want an investigation to be. They are saying now it is their turn. Did this Dr. Mitchell government did what these people are doing? Another thing, KB, you said that what is happening, we have been warned. Yes, People have been one. I wonder if it's been going back to what Scripture talk about in First Says. Things that are happening in the world, as Sal talking, there is two spirits. And this spirit is ruling in Grenada today. And it's not no fancy, it is real. Remember, he started by saying he had the poor. And famous Sakai came back and said, this is wrong. The scripture already said, Jesus said the poor will be always with us. Why? Because of man with their heart. And he's dealing with men and then with their heart. Today is where we are going today. So people have to listen up and see what is going on. And I said before, Mr. Kala Talk Friday, that I'm willing to contribute KB to some fundraising thing that we could start. I'm in the US, I will contribute. We have people here who will contribute, so we got to start something. We just don't talk. I'm tired of all talk. We need action. Thank you all for my indulgence.
Thank you.
Okay, have a nice day. Thank you. Real 91.9, 91.5,
A couple
www.realfmgrenada.com.
things here.
On a Sunday, 3:52 is our time. We just got about 8 minutes to go again. Carl, yes, tell me.
A couple things. Anthony, to a police officer under the rank of inspector and down is considered not a public servant. When you become an ASP, you fall straight under Public Service Commission. Once you promoted in the rank of ASP, you also go down to Public Service Commission for them to give you the instruments to your office. So, and public servants is 26 and 2/3. So that what makes some police qualify for 26 and 2/3. And the regular from inspector downwards, 20 years, because the British, the persons that who wrote this legislation never intended for local people to reach that kind of rank. So that is how it is. But what was not considered when saying the 50 is the liability for. Because you have to assume, best case scenario, that everybody that qualified could go. And it's a lot more than 60 million. You can't tell them they cannot go once they qualify. And that would make the 60 million in jump up. And I haven't heard this government speak of ways of raising extra revenue for the consolidated fund, because all these monies we're talking about, the monies to build 500 houses in every constituency, the money from the consolidated fund. The money to build swimming pool in every parish from the consolidated fund. The money to make every imani permanent and contract workers from the consolidated fund. The money to pay the police for the 1995 pay and grade from the consolidated fund. The money to pay pension all from the consolidated fund. So the consolidated fund has, things. So that what I tell earlier, and I would never wish the government bad. I wish the government all the best, because if the government able to do all the promises, the citizens would be better off, and that's what we want. But the possibility of it happening is where my concern lies. Another thing what the humans say, and everybody boasting, and one some people saying, "Oh, the ancient of days what caused that," but the ancient of days allow things to happen. But just remember, when the children of Israel was in the wilderness, he used to feed them with manna. And they started to cry and say, "We don't get in meat," and he sent the squirrels. And how did it in the squirrels? So they died. So not all time you rejoice on these things, and we have to understand the purpose, the language of the book. You don't just quote the book willy-nilly, the language of the book. So at the end of the day, my whole thing is KB simply. The NNP has to position itself to continue to serve the people. Because even in some cases within the region, El Barro, even in Jamaica and so on, people make 3 and 4 terms, and it had to happen. So the NNP has to position itself in that way.
Final caller. Good afternoon.
Hey, yeah. Hello?
I said good afternoon.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah. The man don't make him 5 years. I give him a few, only about 2 years.
No, you must prepare for the 1,500 days.
Prepare for your 1,500 days, eh? Prepare to bat for 1,500 days. Remember that.
Hold on. I buy election go call.
Prepare to bat for 1,500 days. Okay?
Man's a prophet.
Have a nice day. Good.
My election go call.
Okay, bye. Yeah, bye.
That man one shot code boy.
And when I give this information, I want people to go and fact check me, and Google it. Don't take it to what I say just so. Read the legislation and see what it says. Read and understand pension liability. Read and understand when one qualifies for pension. Read and understand that once you make more than 10 years as a police officer, a public servant, not only police officer, public servants too, there is a particular provision for you to approach the pension secretariat, you or your estate. And these are facts, undisputed facts. They go around them out and say it's not fact. They are undisputed facts. What I would like them to do, call this program and dispute that. Call the program and see what I say and dispute it.
Do you think a police officer, ordinary police officer, could get at least $100,000?
Yeah, based on his salary.
What was the question you asked?
Based on last salary.
What was this question you asked?
Okay, for example, he said not more than...
Hold on, Carl. Yeah, what are you saying?
A police officer without ranks qualify for pension. Could he go home with at least $100,000?
KB.
There's a calculation that could give that here. Carl, tell me.
KB, the legislation say you're entitled to 15, 16 or not more than 5 years of your last salary. So if your last salary was $20,000 per year, 5 by 20 is 100, so that ballpark is a wrong day you could entitle for. And in cases where a man would make 20 years, his gratuity could be near to that, and then you have to pay him a monthly pension. So you find a lot of police officers, once that happen, or once they qualify, they could run. There's nothing stopping them.
You understand?
That is facts.
Why that? Look at that teller machine.
But that is liability. You see, what is not being said about the pension, KB, is once you qualify, there's nothing stopping you from invoking your rights to have it.
You could cut and run.
Once you reach the qualification, the legislation gives you, once you reach the qualification, whether you're 34 years, 42 years, and you make the 20 years, you could just go and approach, right? Go to the pension secretary and say, I had enough of that thing. And then you could have a run on the pension. The problem is if you have a run on the pension and say, okay, 200 police decide to have a run on the pension, you have to find monies for all these people and them. You have to find retroactive, you have to find gratuity and still stick them on every month payment. And then these people still, when they reach the age for NIS, they would have a parallel pension from NIS, because once you make that amount of years, you would already make your 500 contribution, about 10 years, taking you to 500 contribution within NIS. And that is the crux of the matter. It's not old talk and jump up and beat up and say, keep Mitchell wicked. That is the facts. So when they say bring the evidence, that is the evidence. So tell them to contradict the evidence.
I just need 7 more likes to make that 50. Friends, aren't we going to get that 7 more likes? We're at 43. Carl, can you ask them to give us some likes here, Carl? We just need
some likes, man.
Yeah, let's get some likes there. Those of you who've been listening and viewing and didn't like, we have 100 and plus people, 150 something girls viewing.
You asking them to share it?
Well, yeah, we want those of you who did not like, come on, like it. As Antonito, your friend, would say, Carl, hulk up the likes.
No,
we want that before we go off. Wow. Carl, this is how people act. Bang! 52.
Okay.
From where we were, the 43, bang! 52. Now 56, and they're going. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So KB, when they talk, the whole heap of bologna according to sleeping Jew and all the crap and bragadak. The facts still remain the facts.
Yeah. Truth is the truth. No substitute.
No
And what I'm saying, they could go and read. Because not only me alone have the document of pension.
Well,
it's there.
They could get the 1958 legislation, not me alone not have it. They could get the Police Act as relates to pension, not me alone not have it. So if they don't know, let it stay so.
Carl Caton, what's your final statement today?
NNP, be wise.
That's it?
Yeah.
You. NNP, be wise. Don't follow the talking pattern of the opposition. Be wise. Don't borrow it. Don't borrow the talking pattern of the opposition. Be wise.
And I'm feeling so nice to give this advice here, Andre Donald.
My final thing for today is this. In all our chats, irrespective of where the chats are, publicly here, I want the people who support the NNP to maintain that discipline. Maintain the discipline. It is important that you do that. Let us not bring ourselves into the gutter. There will be a time for going in the gutter. You know? There will be a time. Now is not the time for the gutter, Carl. As you would agree with me. Let us
Andre, one thing before I go. You know when I went back on the program Friday, the extension, I realized over 800 persons view it.
The extension on Friday?
Yeah, but I was only 50 while I used to do it. About 800 people view it.
And okay, then my concern is always this, Carl. If nobody is listening and nobody cares and nobody likes, what is the problem? Then don't bother.
Now, when pig get hit, pig got to ball by. Pig doesn't take it death like sheep. Pig don't make noise. You see why the hardest animal to teach is a pig.
Yeah, you can't teach pig easy.
Pig get hit. Blood out. He wants to one stone.
Yeah,
he
man.
does bad feeling to all wicked men.
We gotta go, Carl. We just gotta go.
All right.
Take care of yourself, my brother.
All right.
All right, KB, it was really and truly a joy having you here again this afternoon. We look forward to doing it again another Sunday. This is real. This is 91.9, 91.